Some news from Iran now. The regime in Iran continues to publicly release videos of protesters. In this newly released CCTV footage from Isfahan, it shows how a group of rioters had attacked a bus and threw Molotov cocktails inside it. People can also be seen throwing Molotov cocktails and setting parts of an IRIB state media building on fire in central Iran. So, Aditya, if I can come to you on the status in Iran right now, obviously the regime wants to portray these people, the protesters who are out on the streets, who are seeking a regime change, as rioters. So, they keep on releasing these visuals where they show these people taking part in arson. So, we have a clear CCTV footage where people are actually throwing Molotov cocktails towards a bus, towards a building, and setting those things on fire. Clearly, this is to spread the propaganda that the protesters are also rioters.
Well, definitely, this is one of the, this is being done to deflect the attention from the prevalent situation in Iran. Now the Iranian regime is posting on social media as to how, the protesters are now turning into rioters. So there are different picture, different thing goes on in the world, as to how this is something else, and there's something else is happening and something else is protest. So completely, but however the global community has recognized, how these protests, how the handling of these protests is very, very abysmal by the Iranian authorities, and definitely needs to be seen how things unfold in this scenario. Shivani.
Obviously, Aditya, and when we are looking at such things, we are seeing that the regime wants to project a certain set of narratives. Even though the world, like you have mentioned, the global leaders and the global institutions across the world have rejected this narrative, but the regime seems to make sure that this is the narrative that is pushed forward. Obviously, when we see such kind of large and mass protests, there will be some anti-social elements who will join these protests. However, the regime seems to be projecting that all of these protesters are in fact rioters. They are there for all the wrong reasons. In fact, you had been informing us that there are reports that around 2,000 people have died due to these protests, Aditya.
Well, absolutely. Several protesters have been joined. About approximately 2,000 people have already been died due to these protests in Iran, and definitely, the Iranian authorities are using such deflective images on the social media to deflect attention from the issue. However, now, US President Donald Trump is also threatening a military action on Iran if these protests do not stop. So completely, at this juncture, the situation is getting out of control as far as Iran is concerned. Shivani.
Aditya, I'll request you to please